Before we talk about Hello Kitty, we have to talk about Pokemon. Pokemon is the most profitable brand of all time. Now, this might be surprising at first, but Pokemon is a highly popular game among people of all ages. The games come out often enough that every grade of child has their own generation of games associated with them. On top of that, Pokemon is one of the most popular card games of all time. It has an immensely popular TV show, manga series, and more recently, a major theatrical release. That's not even mentioning the conceit of the game is attaching you to cute fictional pets, encouraging emotional attachment. It's no surprise then that Pokemon is so popular. Hello Kitty does not have any of this. Well, it does, but not nearly as much. If you look into it, she does have most of the things that technically make Pokemon popular, but you'll notice they're much less successful. There's a few TV shows, movies, games, and books, but nothing that I would say people think of as the defining piece of media in relation to Hello Kitty. Why then is Hello Kitty right behind Pokemon in profitability? This information does vary from place to place, but at the very least, consistently, Hello Kitty is one of the most profitable media franchises in history. Today, we ask how. Hello Kitty began with the Sanrio Company and its founder, Shintaro Tsuji, hopefully I said that right, who is still alive at 96 today and ran the company until 3 years ago. He found that if he sold merchandise with cute designs, they'd sell better than if they didn't. He hired designers so he didn't have to pay royalties, and one of them accidentally birthed the Japanese cultural boom of kawaii. Her name was Yuko Shimizu, and the creation was Kitty White Hello Kitty. Now, this is probably the majority of where Hello Kitty's original success came from. There's a massive mix of Japanese cultural and artistic movements that positioned Hello Kitty in such a way that she was the catalyst for the style of simple cuteness, or kawaii, resulting in such well-known artists as Yoshitomo Nara and Takashi Murakami responding to it, and a million other brands trying to copy it, mostly Sanrio themselves. I mean, just look up kawaii art and you'll see what I mean. There's even subgenres of this aesthetic, like specific weird little versions of it, like dreamy kawaii, or gloomy kawaii, or my favorite, this guy called Gloomy Bear, who, from what I can tell, hugs people so hard and so much that he's frequently covered in their blood. Within her own company, Sanrio has created brands aside from Hello Kitty, such as My Melody, Pom Pom Purin, or Kuromi, who is like My Melody, but evil, and more popular. In fact, Hello Kitty isn't even the most popular Hello Kitty character. These brands are sort of under the umbrella of Hello Kitty, but are in their own sections. Regardless, in a few polls, Hello Kitty is not always at the top. I imagine it's like a Mario situation, where no one's favorite Super Mario Bros. Character is Mario, because he's the main guy and doesn't have as much room for his own character traits, and he's not as cute as Cinnamoroll. In the modern age, Sanrio has been moving away from Hello Kitty and more towards properties like Gudetama. Gudetama, by the way, is an egg yolk whose main trait is being lazy. I love him. There's also the TV show Agretsuko, which takes place in the modern landscape using these sorts of characters, focusing on a red panda that works as an office worker, whose main trait is releasing the stress of her work by performing heavy metal at karaoke. Still, the presence of Hello Kitty is undeniable. Also, for the record, the original designer was soon replaced by Yuko Yamaguchi, who's responsible for many of Hello Kitty's recognizable designs. I decided to take to my home to explore what Hello Kitty items we happen to own. For this video, I bought some Hello Kitty items, but I won't count them. I already own this shirt, though, in a puzzle. Hey, do you have any Hello Kitty merchandise?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of what we used to have involving Hello Kitty was given away as we got older. The only remaining thing my sister could find was this radio, which she doesn't use anymore. Visiting some relatives, they had a similar situation, where they might have had some Hello Kitty merchandise in the past, they don't have much more. My aunt, who has 2 daughters, only had this towel. My grandmother has this toaster. It puts a Hello Kitty face on the toast. Maybe it's because Hello Kitty products are viewed by my family as more childish that we don't have much of her. Hello Kitty products, though, are everywhere. There's a few reasons that Hello Kitty is as successful as she is today. My first idea is Hello Kitty as a modern symbol. Femininity, in particular, is associated with Hello Kitty. Cuteness has almost always been connected with the cultural view of women, and in particular with marketing. Hello Kitty is a simple, cute thing that you wouldn't be surprised to see a girl wearing, basically. So many of the people buying her probably don't even think of her as a brand. This design is so simple, it feels like it's practically in the public domain. Sanrio goes about making products with Hello Kitty as though she is a sticker. Counterculture uses it as an ironic symbol. Children use it for identity. Some men use it to be really cool guys. Or not. Even in not recognizing it, people recognize it. It's like a background piece of media. For part of my investigation into the success of Hello Kitty, I looked into some of the Hello Kitty media that I could find in my local stores and library. Apparently my cousin once owned a Hello Kitty game for the DS, but she sold it, and I would have tried that if she still had it. There's not as much Hello Kitty media as I would have liked. I could only find 4 books and a few disconnected DVDs. I had to order 1 book from another library. From the books, I did get a good idea about what they were, generally. These comics, for example, are almost entirely silent, with the action being the focus more than the characters. Some of these are actually pretty creative, but it's clearly aimed at a child audience. I finished all of them within 30 minutes, including the 80-page non-fictional novella. The art varies in interesting ways, often sticking to the traditional style, the only variations being aspects of the artist's personal style, but sometimes you get these interesting takes on Hello Kitty that, while not equal, are still interesting to see. The non-fiction book was largely history and fun facts that I already knew for this video. There are a few things that I didn't know about, such as an album with Hello Kitty on the cover. She has a Macy Day Parade float, Lady Gaga turned into an outfit, there's planes, trucks, houses, all themed after her. She even ran for American president against Obama. Additionally, there's the TV shows, of which there are a few different versions. The first seems to be the most familiar, with Hello Kitty going about her daily life, learning toddler things like how you should eat your vegetables or you'll make your family sad. From that, there's also a version of the show where they adapt fairy tale stories using the Hello Kitty characters. There's also a Spanish version of this, which has the episodes in full as they would play on TV, including this bumper segment. Yeah. Finally, there's a more modern version of the show, which, surprisingly, is 3D animated. It's done very well, to where I thought it was a stop motion at first. I think it works for Hello Kitty because it essentially shows what it's like to play with the toys. I do dislike the narration though, as it more clearly marks it down as being for toddlers. The various stores I went to, Target, Walmart, and Five Below, didn't tend to have much Hello Kitty stuff, except for Five Below, which had this whole Sanrio section. And I knew that because I used to work at Five Below. From Target, I mostly found plushies and disconnected branded items. Walmart was especially difficult to find things in. This wall of pink you see here is actually all for Barbie, who seem to have a much bigger presence than any kind of Hello Kitty items. And also this one looks a lot like Hello Kitty, and I feel like maybe they're trying to look like Hello Kitty. That's just a theory, but I don't know. The impression I got from Hello Kitty was that she is consistently impressionable. This is the kind of stuff that's made exclusively for kids. Anything more mature than a middle schooler would probably only get their knowledge of Hello Kitty through her products. A big piece of this mystery, though, is how Hello Kitty remains known despite not having much of a modern presence. I think this might actually be the reason she is as popular as she is. If we look at the history of Hello Kitty, it reached a point before the 90s where she stopped being so popular, only to suddenly surge as she became recognized as a retro brand. Sanrio started marketing her as a more mature product, making things specifically for an older market. This is probably in part due to the kids who won Hello Kitty items being able to buy them as an adult, as theorized by her creator in an interview. But I think an even larger part of Hello Kitty's success is the blankness about her. Hello Kitty doesn't have a mouth. In many interviews and questions, her associated creators have said she doesn't have a mouth because it allows people to put their feelings onto her. Hello Kitty is nothing. Hello Kitty is everything.
Hello Kitty.
That's Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
That is Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Yes, it is Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of neutral. She's very nice. I like her.
You like her?
She's fine.
I think she's pretty cute. Mysterious.
Yeah.
Good role model for the children.
Role model?
Someone to look up to.
Okay.
Hello Kitty was my like, I love Hello Kitty.
Hello
cat?
Kitty,
Is a cat?
Kitty is a girl?
Hello Kitty is very...
A girl.
Is very girl. Yeah.
No, my
No?
toaster.
Your toaster?
No.
Do you think
I
like
think of the grandkids when I think of it.
I had a lot of Hello Kitty shirts.
But I'm sure that I have some kind of toy or something that my parents got me.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
She's successful because she is Hello Kitty.
She's sexual.
That is why.
She's sexual because she beats levels.
beach levels?
Because of how she is shaped and stuff, meaning her head.
Because she's cute.
I don't know.
Because she's aesthetic, and that a lot of kids can have many toys and outfits that represent her.
Because it's simple and cute.
This is Hello Kitty.
No, it's not.
What do you think on the comics? And hit that subscribe button.
Are you acting like a YouTuber right now?
Yes.
That's messed up. I don't think there's a very good reason for Hello Kitty being as successful as she is. In truth, the brand and Sanrio as a company have been losing millions in profits for the last several years, despite the success of its new properties, and of Kitty herself. I think big media businesses' presence tend to hit a too big to fail era, where a thing that hasn't done anything to deserve popularity stays popular because it once was. The Simpsons is still worth $12 billion for God's sakes, mostly from product sales, which is another thing. Hello Kitty is mostly a product. All of these charts of most valuable franchises get their biggest profits from merchandise, hands down. Hello Kitty is almost 100% profited from merchandise. Over the course of this research, I think I've come to respect Hello Kitty in a way. The bits of modern marketing she's done are like watching a baby swim in a kiddie pool. And isn't it refreshing to see a brand stick to its traditional strategy, to keep itself and remain a well-known, understated franchise for all to see? I don't know. Brands are parasocial creatures, but the genuine care some people have for the silly, mouthless cat with a boyfriend is something real to them, and ultimately harmless. And that, I think, is where the success of Hello Kitty comes from. People just genuinely love her, and that's something money can rarely buy. Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Oh my gosh! I used to have a Hello Kitty necklace.
Yeah.
It actually might be over here. It's like silvery. I was wondering why it looked so familiar. Hold on.
Yeah, there it is.
I used to love this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had like a charm.
Yeah, so you're like a liar.
Shut up, my head.